Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. Let's talk about some new makeup releases, a purchase or pass. I have been trying really hard to stay off of Instagram so that I am not just falling down the Instagram rabbit hole, and I've been failing. But as I was going through the Makeup on Your Radar 2 account today, as well as Trend Mood 1, I came across some things that either looked interesting to me or were definitely things that I was like, what? Okay, I'm not going to talk about all of the things that there are because we'd be here forever, but I thought it might be fun to talk about the things that just kind of popped out at me. First thing I saw that kind of has me a little bit excited is new from Lancome. It's available in Europe right now. It's their Tante Dull Ultra Wear Setting Powder. I remember when they used to have their dual finish setting powder. You could use it either wet or dry. Okay, here's where I tell you I have a very soft spot in my heart for Lancome. I remember in my 20s and early 30s, all throughout my 20s and early 30s, I was so brand loyal to Lancome. I wore all of their skincare, their SPF. I wore all of their makeup. Every time a new collection came out, I bought it, almost the entire thing. And so when I see the fact that Lancome is trying to rebrand and relaunch, I'm very excited by that. And I hope it kind of brings them, I feel like it's been a long time coming and they've been getting a little old, a little dusty. It's time to brush the dust off and to bring other stuff in. This looks interesting. It does have the same sort of packaging. Instead of being tortoiseshell though, it's just plain black as the bronzer that I love so much. And if the powder is like that, I'm dying to try it. The one thing I haven't seen here in the States, and maybe I'm just missing it, is that they released a highlighter, pressed highlighter in Europe, and I bought it at Selfridges, and I didn't really love it. So I'm hoping that the powders, because the bronzer was so good and I really didn't like the highlighter, I'm hoping this powder is leaning more towards the sort of texture we got from the bronzer and leaves a really beautiful soft finish on the face without looking heavy, without looking powdery, and without adding age to the face. But it's supposed to set control oils throughout the day, reduce the appearance of pores, and give an immediate soft focus filtered finish with a second skin effect. Okay, it's 5 shades: universal, fair, medium, deep, and pink. So I'd be curious to see what that looks like and feels like once it's here in the US. I just saw this and I was like, really? Okay, so it looks like Rhode is coming to Sephora. This was something that was released at the tail end of January. I don't know if that's true, but it's a rumor. If it is true, I think it'll be the first time that I'm likely to be able to go in store and to try something from Rhode and to decide for myself whether it's a sort of thing that I would be interested in purchasing. For the longest time, I skipped all of the Rhode products. I don't have anything from the brand because there's no way for me to swatch it. There's no way for me to try it. And there are a lot of brands that are online only that I do purchase from. I do kind of have a thing against celebrity brands. Well, that's not true. I mean, there are some brands that I feel like really go above and beyond just being sold based on a name. And I don't know about Rhode. I think that's probably the one thing that has kept me from purchasing anything at all from the brand. But if I could go in store, see it, touch it, swatch it, I think I might be likely to start purchasing some Rhode products. But if you have any favorites, let me know what they are. There is a new addition to the Buttermelt family from NYX. This is their Buttermelt Glow highlighter. And I don't know how many shades there are. It doesn't say when it's going to be available, but I'm sure it's probably, within a couple of weeks now. I loved the formula of the bronzer. I liked the blush, but it was too pigmented for me. Even the lightest shades were too much for me. So I gave them to my kids. And I think I still have the Buttermelt bronzer around somewhere, but I'd be really curious to see what this highlighter is like. I do like the formulas. I just feel like they need some softer shades for those of us who look like a sheet of paper. Here's the first thing I've seen in a long time that really surprised me and made me sit up and pay attention to Colourpop. And they have a new addition to their Pretty Fresh family. This is their Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm. All right, so it's supposed to offer second skin finish And it's also supposed to be very blurring. And it looks like there's 18 shades. It's $14. I can't wait till this shows up in my local Ulta and I can go and feel it. This is less expensive, I believe, than the Milani blurring stick. I like the formula of that. I like the way that it felt, but there wasn't a color that suited me. I purchased the lightest one thinking it would be the right shade, and it was too fair. And then I went in store and I swatched the second one and it was too peach, and none of them looked right on my skin. So although I really liked the formula of the one from Milani, this one from Colourpop, there might actually be a shade here that works for me. But if it's coming to Ulta, it'd be a really great way for me to go and try and to see it. But I don't know why. I feel like I'm kind of really fallen in love with stick foundations because they're very different than they used to be. And I feel like certain ones do so well. And I'm really excited about this. It's supposed to be a hydrating, creamy formula that has skincare in it. It's supposed to be a natural, buildable, lightweight second skin finish. It's supposed to blur and minimize the look of pores and imperfections. And it has peptides, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid, all for $14. And the only thing I'm thinking about is how many times as Colourpop packaging failed me, where like the cap will break or it will not stay on the component anymore. I really hope I do not have those problems, but this is one that I'm actually quite interested in. People have been talking about it. I've seen them out there being tested, but the Victoria Beckham Beauty eye wardrobes, man, these look interesting. I like that there's only 4 shades. The one that I am the most drawn to is the one named Victoria. It's the one that has kind of like a brown with a smoky lean to it. I also like the one that has greens and golds in it. The only one that I think that I wouldn't get along with well is, surprise, surprise, the bright blue, but they're kind of expensive. They're $75, and that gets you the component as well as the refill. If you wanted to buy just the refill, they're $50 a piece. And I don't know whether the textures are different here. I feel like previous eye bricks, either they were all matte or they were all shimmer. And here, because they're pressed into separate pans, looks like there's satins and mattes and shimmers and things just kind of all throughout. So we're getting a variety of finishes as opposed to only like all mattes or all shimmers from the previous eye bricks. I picked up one of the previous eye bricks and I didn't really like the formula. I didn't like the colors. And so I didn't want to try anymore. And when I saw this, I was like, that's interesting. And then I was like, oh, but you didn't like it last time. So I just feel like I'm probably going to skip on this unless I hear amazing reviews, but those look interesting to me. I fell in love with the Sarah Creel lipsticks. Those are so great. They have a shade extension of their lip repair balm called The Adults Are Talking. I love the names for these products. That's really cool. But it's a dewy lip balm treatment that transforms dry lips to their smoothest, most plump state. Now in 5 shades. And one of them is, I think, clear, and then 4 that have color in them. They look so pretty. Okay. I do really like the lipstick that I have. I have been wanting to try the concealer from Sarah Creel, but the prices, oh my goodness, they're so expensive. And I know this right here is definitely going to be an expense. It's $42 for a lip balm. I'm the sort of crazy person, though, that might actually pick one of these up. It's supposed to be hydrating and long wearing, offer some plumping. It has peptides, and it also has kapuasu butter. It has lactic acid. Looks like it's one of those that is really all going to be about the plumping and the soft lips. I've heard really good reviews when it came out originally in just the clear, and that was the only one there was. I remember hearing somebody mention how it's the best lip balm they've ever tried, and that makes me go, really? I don't know. I want to find out. And now that there's a shade extension, I don't know that I was willing to spend $42 on a clear lip balm, but now that we have colors, I love me a tinted lip balm. I might actually pick this up. All right, there's a shade extension of a product I have been meaning to try from Kulfi. This is their Lassie Lips Staining Long Lasting Moisturizing Lip Oil. And I've heard nothing but beautiful reviews about this product. And now that we have 3 new shades, I think it's interesting. But they have mango seed oil, coconut oil, vitamin E, but they're all vegan and cruelty free. So they're $24 a piece. I think that's a pretty great price. It's right in that same price range as, say, like Rare Beauty at Sephora, where you're getting a good quality, but you're not paying through the nose for it. That's not to say that $24 is not an expensive lip product, because it is, but it's definitely not luxury lip prices. And I think these look really interesting. I'm not one really who loves a lip oil stain. It's the stain part that makes me go, oh, I don't know. Because I still have the one that Rare came out with a couple years ago, like this one. And it's a lip oil stain, and I really don't use it that often. So I'm wondering, would I actually use this lip glossy or lossy lip staining gloss? I'd really have to think about it, but it is something I have been meaning to try for quite a while. A couple new shades of the Glossier Ultra Lip. They have a new red shade. I love the red that I have in Fête. It's like their watermelon red. I love the formula. And then they have a new kind of brown shade. So these 2 shades look absolutely beautiful. Chances are I'm going to pass on them. I like the Ultra Lips. I wear them more during the summer, so I don't know that I'm likely to pick them up right now. But they're a very easy, lightweight formula. If you like something that's glossy, has a little bit of tint, isn't too much like a lipstick, I think you would probably really, really like these. They have shine, they have color. They're described as like the sweatpants of lipstick, and I would say definitely, because it has that comfortable, easy feel to it while being low maintenance. It's the sort of thing you can lounge around the house in, because sometimes if I'm just going to be around the house, I'm putting on lip balm, I'm not putting on lipstick. But I could see myself reaching into my pocket for my Ultra Lips because they do wear so well and so easily. They're only $22, or not too much, at Sephora. They're definitely on the more affordable end of things, but I don't know that I'm going to be picking up either one of these. More from Lancome. This one's interesting to me. I don't know really what's going on. I felt like they were phasing out their blush Sutiles because they hadn't been like restocking them. There weren't a lot of shades and they were hard to come by. And now it looks like they have a shade extension. They have 6 shades that are very bright and vibrant. And I feel like this is a lot of what brands are doing right now, that they are making inclusive shades so that anyone can wear the product. And for the longest time, some of the luxury houses, including Lancome, have been making things for people who look like me. And that leaves a lot of other people out, where the blushes were so subtle that unless you were very, very fair, you weren't going to be able to wear something. And what's so funny is that for the longest time, for more than a decade, they've had one of the largest range of like more expensive foundations, like their Tarte Ultra. You could get that in 40 shades for almost a decade or more now. It's been a long time. And I don't know how they thought that any of the shades of blush that they had would work on a model who had really dark skin. That to me was like, what? Or same with their eyeshadows, unless they were wearing like a bright cobalt blue or something. I felt like a lot of the powder products just were not going in tandem with as deep as their concealers and their foundations went. So this is interesting, but I'm going to show you the arm swatches here. If you look at it, it's not until you get to the bottom with those more pigmented shades. I'm just looking at the rest of these. They look so powdery, especially on the deepest arm here. I don't know. I feel like it was very tone deaf of them not to have these blushes before. But the other thing that's interesting is that looking at them, they still have a lot of those, shades that people used to really love, like Rose Sable, Blushing Trésor, a Plume. And then they have these more eye-catching bright shades, for which I am glad. I kind of wish that they had packaged them a little bit differently, maybe updated the packaging to the round packaging. And maybe they didn't do that because they wanted to put a blush brush in there, but I always hate those blush brushes. Oh, they're just not good. I don't know. Some people can make them work, and to me it's just like, never. Because it digs into the powder and it like brings up so much blush. It's just insane. The shape of the pan as well as the packaging really does harken back to the blush subtils of the 90s and early 2000s when I was wearing a ton of Lancome makeup. But I do like that they have the imprint of the rose on there. That makes them look a little bit fresh and a little bit new. Lys Beauty has a new lip product. This is their Speak Love Lip Plumping Glossy Lip Balm. These look really interesting. I was really excited when I saw these. These are only $19 a piece. That is just a few dollars more than one of the Milani plumping, like the click-up pens that look like the Tarte Maracuja ones. I think they were $15.99, the ones from Milani. This is $19. And these look beautiful. It's a lip balm and treatment in one that is plumping and hydrating. It has chia seed oil, hyaluronic acid. This is already available at Sephora. It does sound like it's a click-up product. I don't know if it's click-up or twist-up because it says it dispenses just the right amount of product to visibly hydrate and plump your lips. If it's dispensing, it's probably that click-up mechanism. But it turns your dry, chapped lips into a soft, smooth state. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And there's no unwanted stickiness. That looks really interesting. That is a sort of lip product that has me sitting on the edge of my seat going, oh, tell me more. Here's one, and I've seen a lot of brands that have something like this. And then when I saw that Tarte was doing it, I was like, what? Okay, so here's where I tell you, this type of product does not excite me at all. I know it doesn't work for me. I don't like it. And these are the Maracuja Juicy Lip Stain Liners. So they're basically like a marker pen that stains your lips. I remember years ago, probably 12, 14 years ago, Revlon used to have a staining pen, and Revlon just debuted a new one. Let's see, Pixie has one. Who else has one? Oh, I think, is it Smashbox that has liners that are very much like this? There's a lot of brands that have these type of pen type stains. And the one thing that I don't like about these usually is that unless my lips are perfectly hydrated, it can get really patchy. The stain itself can get patchy. But it says that these are supposed to hydrate. They're not supposed to bleed or budge. And they wear away easily just so it looks like a just bitten look. I am not at all excited about that. And that to me is a sort of product that feels and seems like a gimmick. I know that we all love a good lip liner, but what a lip liner does, especially if it's in pencil form, whether it's the wood clench pencil or the ones that propel and repel that twist up and down, the gel liners, is that they add an actual barrier to the edge of your lips with the makeup of the product itself, like a waxy barrier to keep things from going outside of your lip line. If it's just a stain on your lips, it's not going to work the same way. So you could put that stain down, put a lipstick over the top or a gloss over the top, and then just have it, start spidering out. If you're like me and you have mature lips, this is not going to be enough to kind of corral and keep things in place. I don't know. I'm not excited about it. I don't like seeing the trend of these lip stains coming back. No, I saw that and I was like, no, thank you, especially for $22. Everybody and their mother is coming out with a new blush. And Rare Beauty has their Soft Pinch Matte Bouncy blushes. These were available for the shortest time on Sephora, maybe even the Rare Beauty website, but you could order them for like 12 hours and then they were unavailable and they're not going to come back until March. And I was like, wait, what? So it was kind of like, get them early if you can, but they are cushiony cream to powder blush that gives the dreamiest flush of color with a blurred matte finish. I think these look really pretty. I don't know that I have to have them because I already have blushes that are that cream to powder formula that have that bouncy texture in them. The ones from M Cosmetics, the Pillow Plush blushes, I really like those. You've got more shades here. I feel like I'm over the top on blushes right now and I need more blush. Like I need another hole in my head, and I will probably pass on these unless the reviews are just like, amazing, you need to have them. But I I don't know. I feel like I've been skipping a lot of Rare products recently. And for the longest time, I was very impressed by what Rare was putting out. All right, these are already available at Sephora. These are new from Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte's Beautifying Eye Trends Eyeshadow Palette. It looks like there are 6 of these. I was going to say they look cheap. And I do feel that they look like something I would find at the drugstore from NYX or from Revolution Beauty. You know, 9 pans together with a clear plastic lid. And I guess that's not very different from what we're getting from brands like Dior, because Dior has their backstage. But there's something about it. These, I don't know. Maybe it's the rose gold. And maybe it's because Revolution Beauty has been trying to dupe Charlotte Tilbury for so long that I look at this and I instantly think Revolution Beauty. I don't think Charlotte. Maybe Revolution's doing their job too well, but these, I don't know. I might pick one up. I might be happy just skipping these altogether. The truth is, I do like Charlotte's eyeshadows. I have several quads, and I've had some of the large palettes in the past, and I do like the formula. I got one recently during my Beautylish Lucky Bag unboxing, and I got Pillow Talk Dreams, and I was wearing it earlier this week. Really loved it. I mean, it's a really, really pretty eyeshadow palette, so I know I like the formula. But these do not have the same luxe feel that the quads do, but I don't know. They're limited edition. I don't know how long they're going to stick around. I might skip these altogether, but they're $60. Kosas has a new powder. This is their Cloud Set Loose Powder. So it's a translucent setting and blurring powder. I wonder whether it's just a completely loose form of the pressed powder they already have. It has the same name. I'm very, very curious. It says a talc-free, ultra translucent 12-hour setting and baking powder that blurs, brightens, and sweeps away shine, but not glow. That sounds exactly like their current pressed cloud set. I do have, the pink one as well as the lightest shade, and I really like that powder a lot. It says it's feather weight. It melts into the skin for an airbrush finish. It's never cakey, powdery, or drying. This does literally sound like, instead of pressing it and baking it into domes, it's just the loose powder. But it looks like it's available now at Sephora, and it comes in 4 shades. So the blush that I'm wearing today is from Danessa Myricks. It's from the Yummy Skin line. This is Rosé and Brunch, and I love this formula. This Upsolite blush formula is beautiful. I have 2 of these, and there's a new shade extension. I love that the shade extension is so vibrant. There is what looks like a coral red shade and a legit purple blush. They look like so much fun. And then there is a lighter shade than this. It looks a little bit, this is the lightest one there was up to this point. And there's a couple of beige shades. The lighter beige shade looks like it's lighter than the one that I'm wearing today. And then the other one looks like it would be almost like a bronzer maybe. I don't know. They look very interesting. I'm glad to see a product that is such a lovely product get an expanded shade range. I think that's wonderful. All right. When I saw this, I was like, I don't know. And maybe it's because I don't know the brand that well. And the things that I have tried from the brand, there are some that I love and some that I'm like, yeah. And this is from Westman Atelier. It's their Sun Tone Hydrating Matte Bronzing Drops. So coverage is light. It's a matte finish in liquid form. I haven't tried, is it a skin tint or is it a liquid foundation from Westman Atelier? I haven't tried their stick foundation. There's a lot of complexion products I haven't tried. I do love the bright blue and bright green bottles. They look really, really cool. I feel like there might have been a chance for there to be a better shade range, because when you're looking at it, the deepest one is really not that deep. And I don't know how this is going to be a bronzer for everyone. But I think that, 4 shades is not enough. I'll just leave it there. This is probably going to be a no for me, mainly because I just really haven't been that excited by the brand. Everybody has bronzing drops, and these ones are $58. I saw this and I was very excited. It's already available at Ulta, and it's from Kopari Beauty. They have a Sun Glaze Sheer Setting Mist that has an SPF 50 in it. So this is a lightweight sunscreen mist that is non-greasy. It dries quickly for easy application over skincare or set makeup. It has hyaluronic and polyglutamic acids, and it has UVA and UVB broad spectrum protection. Now, you're probably going to have to spray a lot to get your SPF 50, but I love the idea of this, especially for summer, something that I could drop in my purse and just, every 2 hours, spray another couple of spritzes over my face. Probably would need more than that, but something, because I always have a hard time when I'm wearing a full face of makeup of getting my sunscreen back on. And every time I try something that is a setting mist with SPF 50 in it, it stings my eyes, or I can't buy it anymore. I used to buy one that was a Korean brand and I loved it. And then they quit making it. And I was like, no. So I had been looking for a product just like this. I'm going to try this one from Kopari. If you have an SPF spray that you use to maintain your SPF coverage when the weather starts to warm up, let me know what it is and how it works for you. But that looks really interesting. Okay, more blush. This is from Juvias Place. This is the cream blushes and cheek and lip tint. All right, so I guess you can use it cheeks or lips. And it's an effortless, lightweight, multi-use cream blush that blends like a dream. And they have really beautiful colors that are very bright and vibrant, and then some that look like they would work really well for people with fair skin. I love how Juvia's Place does a good job of keeping everybody in mind. And I know it's a Black-owned brand, so there are a lot of shades for people who have, a lot of melanin in their skin. But then it's not so much that people like me can't still use the brand. And I love how complete it is. I wish more brands had that same range of products available. Here's one that I don't think I'm going to get, but it's another blush. I feel like it's blush, blush, blush. This is the Get Set Blur and Set Matte Powder Blushes from Tower 28. So these are supposed to be 12-hour fade-proof color that offers a blurred kind of finish to the skin. I was not impressed with their Get Set Blur and Set Matte Powder, just their regular pressed powder. I was really hoping to like that, and it looked really dry on my skin. Dry, and it aged me, and I'm wondering if this formula is the same, only with pigment in it. Is it going to do that same thing where it looks like it's sitting heavily on my cheek? And then right where I have like crow's feet and stuff, if it just looks dry and accentuates the pores, the fine lines, that's not what I'm looking for. So this is going to be a no for me. But I hope the formula is different than what their pressed powder was, because their pressed powder just did not work for me at all. All right, last thing is something else that's new. This is the first time I've talked about Morphe in a hot minute. Like, I cannot remember the last time I said anything at all about Morphe, but they have this new powder. It's a Cloud Light Soft Glow Veil. This kind of sounds like it's trying to mimic what an Hourglass powder does, but it sets skin in a flattering light, illuminated by soft blurred cloud diffused glow. Their Cloud Light Soft Glow Veil features light reflecting technology, is infused with squalene, shea butter, and hyaluronic acid, and you can sweep it on for a look of natural radiance. So it's supposed to be sheer to softly set to optically fade lines, wrinkles, and pores. And I'm just like, whoa, and it's only $16. This is one that I was like, if this is a beautiful powder, I will try it. I want to see it at my local Ulta. I want to go and feel it, swirl my finger through it and feel what it feels like. And if it looks good on the back of my hand, which is always dry and needing hydration, if it looks good on my hand, then I might actually pick one up. But I cannot remember the last time I bought anything from Morphe. I feel like Morphe is turning the ship around. I feel like the things that they are putting out are definitely better than what was going on previously. It feels less like the brand that we're getting shoved down our throats by influencers. Like, 2015, 2016, everybody had a Morphe 350 palette or a Morphe code. And I got just sick to death of it and didn't really want to try any of it. But the things that I've been seeing at Ulta recently, they had a new launch of brushes. I'm like, well, those actually look kind of good. And there have been other things that I haven't been talking about that I'm like, well, that's kind of surprising. This is the first thing that really caught my attention and made me go like, you know what? maybe I do want to pick that up. Maybe I do want to see what's going on with that. So there you go. Not that that's everything that there is, but that's everything that I'm talking about today. Here's where I want to know, are any of these products or ones that I didn't mention grabbing your attention? Are they making you sit up and pay attention? Are they kind of luring you in? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.